They told me I was the 100th woman. That 99 had come before me. That all 99 had died screaming the moment the Vampire King's skin touched theirs. I watched the records being read in the sentencing chamber. Names, ages, dates of death. All recorded in neat, clinical script. Subject 1, burned upon contact. Duration of death, 14 seconds. Subject 2, burned upon contact. Duration, 9 seconds. On and on, but here's what made my blood run cold. Subject 99 was a girl barely 18. She lasted 6 seconds. 6 seconds. They gave me a choice: hang for my crime, or become Subject 100. A mercy killing that saved a dying child but broke their precious laws. So I chose the curse. Because at least dying with purpose felt better than dying for nothing. They told me Albert's curse was absolute. 3 centuries without a single exception. They were wrong about one thing. I didn't die. And now, 5 days later, I'm sitting in the Vampire King's private study, my hand still tingling from where his fingers wrapped around mine, trying to figure out why I'm the exception to a 3-century curse that's never failed before. My name is Deborah Randolph. I was a healer before I became a criminal. Then I became a sacrifice. This is how I became the only woman to survive the Vampire King's touch. And, trust me, survival was just the beginning of my problems. It was the beginning of something far more dangerous. Not to Albert. To the people who cursed him in the first place. You want to know what happens when you survive the impossible? They lock you in a palace and tell you to wait while they study you. I got a room in the East Wing, beautiful, if you ignore the fact that every surface is covered in white cloth because Albert Dunbar can't touch anything without destroying it. 300 years of isolation will do that. You become a walking catastrophe. But here's the first thing that didn't make sense. My door had no lock on the inside. Think about that. They put me in a palace with a cursed king who's killed 99 women, and I can't lock my door. That night, I couldn't sleep. You wouldn't either if you'd watched 99 death records being read aloud like a grocery list. So I explored. The palace is massive, Gothic architecture, vaulted ceilings, everything designed to make you feel small. But it's the silence that gets you. No servants in the halls. No guards patrolling. Just me and the echoes of my own footsteps on cold stone floors. Then I found the memorial room. 99 portraits staring down at me. Every woman who died touching Albert Dunbar. Names carved beneath their faces. Ages. Dates of death. Sarah Chin, age 24. Died March 15, 1847. Alara Moss, age 19. Died June 3, 1923. Catherine Vale, age 31. Died September 12, 1998. Farmers' daughters. Noble women. Volunteers who thought they could break the curse. Prisoners like me who had no choice. But here's what made my healer's instincts scream. They all had similar facial features. High cheekbones. Specific eye colors, green or gray, never brown. Certain bone structures. Long fingers. Particular builds. These women weren't random. Someone had been choosing them based on physical traits. I'm reading the plaques, my medical training cataloging the patterns, when I hear footsteps behind me. Heavy. Deliberate. I spin around. There's a servant, human like me, maybe 50 years old, carrying fresh linens. She looks at me like I'm already a corpse. You should leave, she whispers, glancing over her shoulder like someone might hear. I almost laugh. I'm a prisoner. Where would I go? She grabs my wrist, you can see her hand shaking, and leans in close. The ones who wanted to stay died faster. He gets attached. It hurts more when they burn. Subject 47 begged him to hold her at the end. He did. She lasted 23 seconds screaming in his arms. Then she's gone, practically running down the corridor. I'm standing there surrounded by 99 dead women, and it hits me. This palace isn't just empty. It's dying. Like a patient who's given up, waiting for the end. The covered furniture. The silent halls. The memorial room kept pristine while everything else gathers dust. Albert Dunbar has been burying pieces of himself with every woman who burned. Night falls. I hear footsteps outside my door, slow, hesitant, like someone standing there but unable to knock. I hold my breath, waiting. The footsteps walk away. In the morning, I find a note slipped under my door. Elegant handwriting on expensive paper. 3 words, I'm sorry. And that's when I understand. He's not avoiding me because he's cruel or indifferent. He's avoiding me because he's terrified of hoping I'll survive. Because 99 times, he's watched someone die in his hands. 99 times, he's apologized to corpses. And he's already written my apology. But here's the thing that makes my blood run cold as I stare at that note. If Albert thinks I'm going to die like the others, why did someone slip poison into my breakfast tea this morning? Who in this palace wants me dead before I can figure out why I survived? The poison was amateur work. You'd think after 300 years, they'd use something subtler than nightshade in my morning tea. But I'm a healer, I can smell belladonna from across a room. Sweet, slightly musty, like rotting berries. Someone wants me dead before the council can study why I survived. Which means I need answers. Now, I find Albert in the library, surrounded by texts so old the pages are practically dust. He doesn't look up when I enter. Probably thinks I'm another servant he can ignore. Someone poisoned my tea, I say. His head snaps up. Those gray eyes lock onto mine, and for the first time, I see fear in them. Not of me. For me. Show me. I place the cup on his desk. He leans close, careful not to touch it, and his jaw tightens. Nightshade. Crude, but effective. He looks at me. How did you know? I'm a healer. Was a healer. I gesture at the books. What are you researching? The curse. I've been looking for a way to break it for 3 centuries. He laughs, bitter and broken. Haven't found one yet. Here's what I don't tell him. I've been thinking about this all night. What if breaking it isn't the point? What if someone wants you cursed? The silence that follows could cut glass. I've considered it, he finally says. But who benefits from my isolation? I pull out the notes I made in the memorial room. The patterns. The physical similarities. The carefully chosen women. 99 subjects, Albert. All with specific traits. High cheekbones. Light eyes. Particular builds. These women weren't random volunteers. He goes very still. You think the council has been choosing them? I think someone's been running an experiment for 300 years. And I'm test subject 100. That's when the window explodes. Glass shatters inward. I see the arrow, black-fletched, aimed straight at my throat. I'm a healer, not a fighter. I can't move fast enough. But Albert can. He moves faster than my eyes can track, hand shooting out to catch the arrow an inch from my neck. His other hand grabs my arm, yanking me behind his desk. Skin-to-skin contact. His palm against my wrist. We both freeze. No burning. No screaming. No death. Just his hand on my arm, warm and solid and impossibly gentle for someone who's killed 99 women with his touch. You need to stay near me, he says, voice rough. I can protect you. I pull my arm free, even though part of me doesn't want to. From everyone but you. Something breaks in his expression. I would never hurt you. You've said that to 99 women before me. No. The word comes out raw, almost angry. You want to know how it feels? To touch someone and watch them burn? Subject 47, Alara. She lasted the longest. 23 seconds. She looked me in the eyes the whole time, trying to be brave. I held her while she turned to ash. His hands are shaking. I've done that 99 times. So no, Deborah, I haven't said I would never hurt you to anyone. Because I always do. The pain in his voice makes my healer instincts scream. This isn't a monster. This is someone who's been tortured for 3 centuries. Then why did you agree to keep trying? His laugh is hollow. Because the council said if I refused, they'd execute 10 humans for every woman I turned away. I couldn't let them die for my cowardice. That's not cowardice, I say quietly. That's an impossible choice. Is there a difference? We're standing close now. Close enough that I can see the silver threading through his dark hair, the exhaustion carved into his face. 300 years of guilt, wearing him down one death at a time. There's a difference, I tell him. Cowardice is running. You stayed. You suffered. You took responsibility for something that was done to you. He looks at me like I've just said something in a language he doesn't speak. Someone shot an arrow at you, he says, changing the subject because vulnerability clearly terrifies him more than curses. That means whoever poisoned your tea knows you survived it. And they're getting desperate. Which means they'll try again. He reaches for a book, careful not to touch me. Stay in my chambers tonight. They're warded. No one can enter without my permission. Your chambers. I raise an eyebrow. That's not suspicious at all. Would you rather die proving a point about propriety? Fair. But here's what's nagging at me as we gather his research to move to safer ground. If someone wants me dead this badly, it's not just because I survived. It's because I'm about to discover something they've been hiding for 300 years. And when I find out what that is, surviving Albert's touch is going to be the least of my problems. Albert wakes me at midnight with his hand over my mouth. Not ideal, considering his touch has killed 99 women. But I don't scream. You learn not to when you've survived what I have. We need to move, he whispers. Now. He leads me through passages I didn't know existed behind tapestries, through walls, down stairs that spiral into darkness so complete my lantern barely cuts it. We're going somewhere he's not supposed to take me. Where are we going? The Forbidden Archives. The Council sealed them 3 centuries ago. His voice echoes off stone. Right after they cursed me. Wait. Right after? We reach a door covered in symbols that make my skin crawl. Albert presses his palm against it. The only benefit of a curse that destroys everything you touch is that magical wards don't stop you. The door opens. You need to understand what we find inside. Dust thick enough to choke on. Shelves stretching into darkness. And books. Thousands of them. All forbidden. All hidden. Start looking for anything about curse creation, Albert says, already pulling texts off shelves. Ritual components. Casting circles. Blood magic. I find it 20 minutes later. A ritual book bound in black leather, dated exactly 300 years ago. The page is marked like someone knew we'd come looking. Albert. He's beside me in seconds. We read together, his shoulder almost touching mine. The curse wasn't cast by an enemy. It was cast by the Council. Deliberately. Our imprisonment ritual designed to isolate him permanently because he was advocating for human rights, threatening their power structure. They did this to you, I breathe. Your own people. His face has gone absolutely still. That's how you know rage in someone this old. It goes quiet, not loud. But I'm not done reading. Because next to the ritual instructions is a genealogy book. Thick. Detailed. I pull it down and the spine cracks like breaking bones. What is that? Albert asks. Family trees. I flip it open. For all 99 women. And here's where it gets horrifying. The families have been intermarrying in specific patterns for generations. Not random marriages. Arranged. Guided. Bloodlines carefully crossed like they're breeding horses for specific traits. I'm tracing the lines with shaking fingers when I see a name I recognize. Randolph. My family name. No, I whisper. I flip forward. Back. Following the branches. Every marriage in my family for 12 generations was suggested by council advisors. Every child's magical signature recorded. Every trait catalogued. My great-great-great-grandmother married a man with healing magic because the council recommended him. My grandfather's wife was chosen because she had the right bone structure. My mother was matched with my father because their combined genetics would produce the exact magical compatibility needed to create me. Deborah. Albert's voice sounds far away. What is it? I can't answer. I'm drowning in family trees that aren't random, aren't chosen, aren't real. I wasn't lucky, I finally say, and my voice doesn't sound like mine anymore. I was made. They've been breeding my family for 300 years to create someone who could touch you. No. Albert grabs my shoulders, skin to skin, and he doesn't even flinch. No, that's not. Every choice my ancestors made. Every marriage. Every child born. I'm shaking so hard the pages rattle. It was all to make me. I'm not a person, Albert. I'm a spell component. I'm livestock bred for magical compatibility. The genealogy book slips from my hands and hits the stone floor. Because here's what I'm realizing. If they spent 300 years engineering me to touch Albert Dunbar, it wasn't to save him. It was to kill him. That's when I break. Just completely shatter. Because my entire existence, every choice I thought I made, every person I thought I loved, every moment I thought was mine, was constructed by people who saw me as a tool. Albert reaches for me. Stops. Remembers I'm the only person he can touch without killing. And he holds me. His arms wrap around me while I cry into his chest, both of us processing the same violation from different angles. He was imprisoned. I was created. We're both victims of the same conspiracy. I'm sorry, he whispers into my hair. I'm so sorry. For what? You didn't do this. I'm the reason they made you. I'm about to answer when we hear it. Footsteps. Multiple sets. Echoing down the spiral stairs. Guards. Albert's head snaps up. They know we're here. How? Doesn't matter. Move. He grabs my hand, the first time he's initiated touch, and pulls me toward the back of the archives. There's a passage I didn't see, hidden behind a shelf. Go. I run, but not before grabbing the genealogy book off the floor. If I'm going to be hunted for what I know, I'm taking the evidence with me. We're racing through darkness, his hand in mine, when I realize something that makes my blood run cold. If they bred me for 300 years to touch Albert Dunbar, they have a plan for what happens next. And whatever that plan is, it involves both of us dying. I can't sleep. You wouldn't either if you'd just discovered your entire bloodline was livestock breeding for magical compatibility. So I'm sitting in Albert's guest chambers at 3 in the morning, studying the genealogy book by candlelight, tracing every arranged marriage, every suggested relocation, every perfectly timed birth. My life wasn't mine. It was never mine. That's when the air in the room changes. It gets cold, the kind of cold that has nothing to do with temperature and everything to do with power. The candles flicker. And then he's just there, standing in the center of my room like he materialized from shadow. Master Corvus. Ancient doesn't cover it. This vampire looks like he was old when the world was young. Silver hair, skin like parchment, eyes that have seen empires rise and fall. And he's smiling at me like I'm a particularly interesting specimen. I wondered when you'd find the records, he says, voice smooth as poison. You're clever. That's the healer training, not the breeding. Every muscle in my body locks. You made me. I guided your family line. He moves closer, and I force myself not to flinch. Small suggestions over centuries. A marriage here, a relocation there. Your great-great-grandmother's talent for healing magic? I arranged for her to meet a man with complementary gifts. He tilts his head. You're the result of 300 years of careful work. Why? Because the curse doesn't just burn, Deborah. It transfers life force. He says it like he's discussing the weather. Each touch was meant to weaken Albert gradually. The 99 women who died? They were testing compatibility. Refining the formula. My stomach drops. What are you saying? Your touches don't burn because you're compatible. But they're still draining him. Corvus gestures casually. Every time you touch him, the curse inverts slightly. One final, prolonged touch will complete the inversion. You'll be fine. He'll burn to ash. No. You're not his salvation, Corvus continues. You're his executioner. And when you complete your purpose, the council will grant you anything you desire. Freedom. Wealth. Your name cleared. All you have to do is touch him one more time. I'm on my feet, cold fury flooding my veins. And if I refuse? He smiles. Actually smiles. Then we'll kill you and start breeding the next bloodline. Another 300 years. We're patient. The air shifts again. He's gone as suddenly as he appeared, leaving nothing but the smell of old parchment and older magic. I'm alone with the horrible truth. Every time I've touched Albert, every handhold, every moment of comfort, I've been killing him. Slowly. By design. And here's the worst part. I don't know if what I feel for him is real or if they programmed that too. Did they breed me to care about him so the betrayal would hurt more when I complete my purpose? I look down at my hands. These hands that touch death to bring life. Except this time, they were made to bring death. And Albert has no idea. I'm staring at my hands like they belong to someone else. Because maybe they do. Maybe everything about me, every instinct, every feeling, every choice, was engineered by people who saw me as a weapon with a 300-year fuse. Every memory replays on loop. Albert catching the arrow. His hand on my arm. Holding me while I cried in the archives. Did I want those touches? Or was I programmed to seek them out, to kill him slowly while thinking I was connecting with him? I have 3 choices. 1. Take Corvus's offer. Touch Albert one final time. Watch him burn. Get my freedom, my name, everything I've lost. 2. Run. Disappear before anyone can use me. Let Albert die slowly over the next few months as the curse inverts without me there to finish it. 3. Tell him the truth. Watch him look at me like I'm a monster. Lose him anyway. I spent my whole life touching death to save life. What if I'm just death this time? Dawn breaks. I find Albert on the palace roof, silhouetted against the rising sun. He's watching it like he's trying to remember what warmth feels like without the curse dulling everything. I need to tell you something, I say. My voice is steady. That's the healer training. Inside, I'm screaming. And you're going to hate me for it. He doesn't turn around. Try me. So I tell him everything. The breeding program. The curse's true nature. That every time I've touched him, I've been draining his life force. That one more prolonged touch will complete the inversion and he'll burn to ash while I walk away unharmed. The silence that follows could shatter stone. When he finally turns to face me, his expression is unreadable. I know, he says. Wait. What? I've known since the 3rd time you touched me. I can feel the curse shifting. I've had 300 years to understand how it works. My world tilts. Then why didn't you stop me? Why did you let me keep touching you? Because for 300 years, I've been alone. His voice breaks. And for 5 days, I've felt warm. If you're going to kill me, at least I'll die having been touched with kindness. That's more than I deserve. Something inside me shatters. You think you deserve to die? I think I've killed 99 women. If my death saves you, it's a bargain I'll take. And there it is. We're both martyrs. Both ready to die for the other. Both so convinced we're worthless that sacrifice feels like the only option. What if we both choose to live? I ask. He looks at me like I've suggested flying. Is that even possible? I don't know. I step closer. Close enough to touch, but I don't. Not yet. But I'm a healer, Albert. And I'm tired of touching death. Let's try touching life instead. How? The curse inverts because it's designed to transfer death. But I'm a healer. My magic is life. I'm working this out as I speak. What if the final touch isn't meant to kill you? What if I can redirect it? And if you're wrong? Then we die together choosing each other instead of being used. I hold out my hand. That's enough for me. He stares at my hand like it's salvation and damnation wrapped in skin. Then he takes it. We have exactly 30 seconds before Corvus materializes in the center of the room. You can feel it coming, that pressure in the air, that wrongness. Albert's hand tightens on mine. We both know what this means. Our time's up. Corvus appears with 6 council guards. All vampires. All armed. All looking at me like I'm a job to complete, not a person. Your time is up, Corvus says, calm as death. Complete the ritual or die. The guards grab us before we can run. They're faster, stronger, and they know exactly how to restrain someone without Albert accidentally touching them and burning them to ash. They drag us through the palace to the council chamber. It's massive. Vaulted ceilings. Ancient stone. And in the center, a ritual circle carved into the floor, the same symbols from the curse text we found in the archives. The council is waiting. 7 vampires who look like they've been alive since the world was young. Lady Sienna sits at the center, silver-haired and cold-eyed. 300 years of planning, she says, looking at me like I'm livestock that finally reached slaughter weight. End him, and you're free. Wealth. Pardon. Everything you've ever wanted. The guards force us into the circle. I can feel the magic activating under my feet, ancient and hungry. Choose, Corvus says. Touch him and live. Refuse and die. Albert's eyes meet mine. Choose yourself, he says, and his voice is breaking. Please. For once, just choose yourself. I am choosing myself. I grab his hand before anyone can stop me. I'm choosing to be the person who doesn't kill the man she loves because someone told her to. The word hangs in the air. Loves. I said it. I meant it. And I don't care if they programmed that feeling into me, it's mine now. The curse flares the moment our palms touch. I feel it trying to invert, trying to drain Albert's life into me, trying to complete 300 years of planning. But I'm a healer. And I channel every ounce of magic I have into redirecting that energy. Instead of flowing into Albert, the curse's power flows backward. Back to its source. Back to the council. Corvus screams. It's the first time I've seen fear in those ancient eyes. He's burning, actually burning, the way 99 women burned in Albert's arms. The spell is consuming its creator. No. Lady Sienna tries to run. But the curse recognizes her. Recognizes all of them. Every vampire who cast it, who maintained it, who engineered 300 years of death. One by one, they burn. The same duration as their victims. 14 seconds. 9 seconds. 23 seconds of screaming. The council chamber fills with ash. Albert and I stand in the center, untouched, hands clasped. The curse shatters around us like breaking glass, 3 centuries of magic dissolving into nothing. Albert gasps. I can feel it, he whispers. The sun. The warmth. It's real. Then I collapse. My legs give out. I've channeled more magic than my body can handle. But Albert catches me, his arms wrapping around me, skin to skin, no curse between us. For the first time in 300 years, he can touch someone without death. And for the first time in my life, I chose myself. We're both free. But here's what I didn't expect. Freedom is just the beginning. Because now we have to figure out who we are without curses and conspiracies defining us. And that's the scariest choice of all. Thanks for watching the video. Grab your seat and see you in the next one.